All right, Shalom. Want to say call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim and Kakwadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders at GMS that rule well. Peace and blessings to the Akim that's out there fighting, doing this work with truth and sincerity. Back here again with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect men out there that are listening and watching these videos. Just a quick lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh Shai, just thinking about some scriptures, thinking about the times we're living in, the things that's happening on the planet Earth. And the things that's happening on the planet Earth is not random. These are words which come out of the Bible, which equals prophecy, that's making things shake, that's disrupting the norm of life, if you will. So the Lord is calling for his people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, to awake out of sleep. Now, you have Israelites who've been preachers and pastors, deacons of churches from the time I was younger, and even brothers who's apostles that's older than me, seeing churches and preachers back in their time. And if you notice, the people that go to church, which are the Israelites, still not awakened, still in a stupor, still don't know who they are, still don't know that the MOTB, the RFID chip is here, which is according to prophecy in the book of Revelation chapter 13. They still don't understand that society is going to break down. All hell is going to break loose. You're going to have martial law. You're going to have something called, martial law, medical martial law. So there's a lot of things that's happening on the planet and people are not aware of because they're not awakened. They still asleep. So real quick in Romans 13:11, it says, and that knowing the time, right, and that knowing the times we're living in, to be spiritually aware and understand the seasons that you're in. We're not in the time like we was 35, 40 years ago. We're in some different times now, you see. Hold on one second. So people go to church and still don't know what times they're living in. Still don't know that they're Israelites. Still don't know the so-called white man and these other nations are the enemies to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the true biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the Lord's people. We've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth because of the disobedience and the great offense that we caused. It was us. The Bible belonged to the Israelites, man, nobody else. And knowing that, knowing the time, again, right, to be spiritually aware, to understand the season you're in, to know, to see about something, going to search the scriptures to see if these things are to be so, as pertaining to prophecy. So when it says knowing the time, you have to see it. To know something, you have to go see about it. You're not asking the right questions, or you're asking questions to be contrary or to be, going against what the prophets are telling you out on the highways and byways, beginning with the apostles and the elders and the bishops and the men on down the great millstone. So to know something, you would see about something. You would examine it. You would be aware, and you would get the knowledge. To know something, you got to get the knowledge of. So going to church and coming up against the men of the Lord, debating, that's not knowledge. You're not getting understanding and knowing the times that you're living in, man. And knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Stop drifting, man. Get your head out of the cloud. Get intentional. Especially us in this walk. We need to get more intentional. And stop drifting. 2/3 of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have drifted so long, hell, they forgot how to come back. But the Lord is casting out a line to reel in his people. But they don't want to cast or take hold of that line because they engulfed in the ways of this world, and the God of this world has blinded the minds of the people. So they drifters, thinking they're the actual Gentiles, thinking everyone can be saved, but they don't know themselves to be Israelites. So awake out of sleep, to stop drifting, man. Get intentional. Live alert. Live our lives to be on alert at the same time, man. You see? So knowing that, being spiritually aware, understanding the season that we're in, examine these times, be aware, get involved, to see about something, to get knowledge of. Instead of want to debate and come out on the highways, byways and scoff on the comment boards, You need to be getting the proper and right information that can lead to your salvation, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And knowing that, you see, you would know the times they were living in, Romans 13:11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Stop drifting, man. Get intentional. Live alert. You know? For now is your salvation nearer than when we believe. Every day matters, man. Every day from the time the Lord allow us to walk on this path and to be awakened out of sleep, every day matters. So our purpose is closer than yesterday. So when I was in the world, I would think of salvation to be like, I'm gonna be old and decrepit, you know, I might be 90 years old, whatever. But then when you wake up, when the Lord allowed to tap into your spirit and allow you to wake up, you will see now the end is much closer than the beginning, man. So now it's really high time to wake out of sleep and examine the things that's going on around you and link it up with the scriptures. Ask the proper questions. Take your pride and emotions out of the question that you're asking and the answer that you receive. This is a spiritual calling, man. The Lord is the Lord is briefing us right now. He's briefing us on things to come and showing us there's a way for us to get protection and get delivered out of the perilous times that we're living in. Because if you know the time we're living in, you know that you're living in some perilous and dangerous times. You would get the knowledge of this information, man. You would understand it more on a spiritual level and not be playing around with your time and get more intentional and stop drifting, man. See, the Israelites, the 2/3, they drifters, they get intentional about worldly shit. Or they like to live their life alert on worldly things, worldly norms versus spiritual ones. They examine things. They get knowledge of what? The things of the world. They be aware of things, getting money, want a retirement, want to get a bank, want to join hand in hand with the heathens, want to buy land and be it forever, want to pass down all this land and property, blah, 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 for generational wealth. So you have these things that I just mentioned to you, but they're on a carnal level. They're not on a spiritual level. So you're not spiritually aware and knowing the times that we're living in, man. We live in some perilous times, man. All hell about to break loose. Stormtroopers go come in your door. You see the ice out there. That's part of prophecy, man. So that's the words of the Lord taking root in the earth, and things are starting and things are budding. Things been budding or taking place, take a root when the apostles came out on YouTube, man, in the early 2000s. Well, you know, it's been happening when that Albert Bivens, King Mashal, Harpreet Sarwayah, those men that came out, Albert Bivens, now the apostles and the elders that you see on for you today, and now the men on down. Things has been taking root in the planet. Now they're starting to bud, and now you see it more and more clearer now if you're looking at it through a spiritual lens. When you want to have a spiritual understanding of what's going on, man, then you would know you would snap out of the slim, you would snap into a Slim Jim, and you'd be more aware spiritually. You'd be more spiritually getting intentional. Because every day matters, and our purpose is closer than yesterday, than when we started this. Think about when you first came into this thing, how much closer we are now towards the end of it. Because we see it. We also paying attention about everything that's going on the news. Brothers passing on information in these chats. We share information amongst one another because the Lord have the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Al-Shah has us on alert, on high spiritual alert. And he's sitting us down with the report, and he's briefing us on things that's about to take place. As he briefed Noah, and Noah came out and built an ark and delivered him and his family, man, by believing on a report and waking out of sleep. You see? And start to live intentional. I mean, he started to live, Noah started to get intentional because he built the ark. You can't build an ark being comfortable. You can't build an ark being comfortable and then being complacent with it. So right now it's a wake-up call, man. You know, don't coast, don't delay, don't stay comfortable in complacency, man. It's time to move, man. It's time for us, Lord willing, to keep moving, man. The Lord give us the spirit we need when we keep thriving and pushing, man, because 2/3 are going to be right where they at. in the 2/3 club. So we can't afford to get comfortable and stay complacent. It's a wake-up call. The Lord is giving us the wake-up call. He's briefing us on us, man. He's briefing us on the things that's about to come. The Bible says the Lord is a man of war, right? So right now we're in a spiritual war room, getting briefed on things that's about to take place on the planet Earth, man. So it's our time to wake out of sleep. Lord willing, I hope this was edifying. Until the next time, I should say, Shalom.